Hello, I'm Dan Alexander. Thank you for joining me for another episode of my webcast. Tonight, I'd like to talk about guitar neck resets and neck angles. Now, I don't want to give the impression that I am any kind of an expert about neck angles or any kind of repairman whatsoever, because that simply isn't true. But in any case, for those of you who know about neck resets, this is all rudimentary stuff. But for the rest of you, maybe this will be of interest. So the neck angle on a guitar is the angle of the neck in relationship to the top of the guitar. And over here, of course, you have the bridge with the saddle on it. And up here at the end of the neck, you have the nut. Obviously, if the neck angle is too far back, the strings will lie flat on the fretboard. That's not desirable. If the neck angle is too high, the action, the string height off of the fretboard will be uncomfortably or unplayably high. In some cases, when it's not dramatic, one can deal with it by lowering the saddle a little bit. But when you lower the saddle, you are decreasing the angle between the saddle and the bridge pins. And that decreases the tension down on the saddle. And that tension has a lot to do with the transmission of the vibrations from the string to the top of the guitar. The tension from a set of steel strings is a couple of 100 pounds. And over time, inevitably, guitar necks are pulled forward, resulting in the action getting higher. Sometimes people will actually shave the bridge down so that they can still have somewhat of a saddle and low action. But the net result of that is eventually, not only do you have to reset the neck, which is resetting the neck angle, but you also have to replace the bridge, because when it's down too low, it's unusable. It won't hold a high enough saddle. So, what do they do when they reset the neck? They take the neck off of the body and they shave the surfaces of the joint in such a way that it moves the neck back like this. Rather than sticking up where the action is too high, they'll set the neck angle back. Right? And when the neck angle is correct, that allows for the saddle to be tall enough and for the strings to be close enough to the fretboard so that the guitar is comfortably playable. And that's the gist of it. It's quite an involved operation for a repairman. It takes a fair amount of work, and that's why it's pretty expensive. Fortunately, most guitars don't need a neck reset more than once every 10, 20, sometimes 30 years. And depending on the environment that they're kept in. And obviously, if one uses medium gauge or heavy gauge strings versus light gauge strings, there's more tension on the neck, and it's more likely that the need for a reset will be will occur. And that's it. So there you have it. And I hope that's of interest to someone. Have a good evening. Thank you for joining me.